Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV, and I brought my VCR down to the studio today because we have this little box from Honestech. This is called the Vidbox for Mac, and it is exactly what you'd expect it to be. It's a little box that you connect your analog video equipment to, and it will route all of that through a USB connector to your Macintosh computer. And there's also a Windows version available as well. It's pretty simple. You have 3 connectors on the back. You got RCA video and audio, and you also have S-Video, which works with more advanced older devices. So some game consoles and some higher-end VCRs support that better format. I should add that there is software that comes with this. It requires a serial number that they're going to give you on the envelope of the CD. If you don't have a CD drive on your Mac, because a lot of our newer Macs don't, you can download that software from their website, but you're going to need to hang on to that serial number that they give you. So we're going to hook this VCR up. I have an embarrassing video from a childhood visit to Universal Studios. We're going to put that in the VCR right now and plug in these cables, and we'll be back in a minute. Okay, we've got the box hooked up now. I should add that it is completely bus powered by the USB cable, so there's no other power cord that you have to plug in. You just have to make sure that you get the cables connected correctly from your VCRs out to the devices in. And what you do next is you load up their software. And I'm actually pretty happy with the software. It's not very complicated. And I think for a lot of people doing this sort of thing, if you're like me, you've got a lot of tapes to go through. So complexity is not your friend with something like this. So you first select the device that you're going to use to capture the footage with. And I don't know why they ask this question, because these analog things, they're all different devices, but they all connect the same way. I have a feeling that they might adjust some of the contrast and brightness settings depending on the type of device. Once you do that, you select whether it's a composite or S-Video connection, and we're using composite in this case. And then what happens, I'm going to turn the sound off for a minute because it might come blaring through. Then it just gives you some instructions as to how to hook it up, and it's very self-explanatory. You want to make sure you have the video outs matched to the input here, and then of course guiding you where to plug in your USB connection. And we hit next, and you can also, this is really nice actually, there's you can set a recording time, and there's some other devices do the same thing, but with videotape, you never know really when it's going to end, or you don't want to have to sit there with it the whole time. So you can set a time limit for how long you want it to record. So if you know you've got an hour and a half worth of footage, you can just set it for an hour and a half, walk away, and it'll stop when it gets to, the computer will stop when it gets to that hour and a half, which is kind of a handy thing. So we're just going to set it to 20 minutes. By the way, it will put the files in your home directory in one of the movie folders there. So you just need to look for it when you get over there. Once you, and here we go, this is a thing at Universal Studios they used to do with, you could basically put yourself into a Star Trek episode, and they give you uniforms and everything else. Quite embarrassing, what the heck. So this was something we shot probably back in the early 90s, and it's on VHS. I should note that my VCR is playing this on here, so I just don't have the remote control down here with me, but you can always get rid of that stuff there. And then when you're ready to record, you just click the record button. So we're going to let this record for about 10 seconds or so. And I can turn the sound on too. The sound will carry through so you can hear what you're... See, there you go. So you can hear what you're recording as it's going. It's actually, I'm really impressed with this thing for the price that it works as well as it does, and it's as simple as it is. It kind of guides you on a step-by-step process. So, so we got about 20 seconds recorded. I'm going to stop the video early. It's going to ask me if I'm sure I want to do that, and I'm going to say yes. And now it gives me some options. Now I can just click here and open where we saved the file to. So here it is. If I go into my folder here and just hit the space bar real quick, I can play back what we just recorded. The quality is decent. I mean, I have found, I have another one of these devices. I have found this is a little bit brighter than the other device that I'm using. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. I mean, it looks good to me watching it here. So I'm not all that upset about the quality. It'd be nice if I had more manual controls over what the video looked like before I recorded. I'm going to try to play around a little bit with some of those settings that you saw initially as to the device type selection and that kind of thing. But my only gripe, again, is that you really can't control the brightness. But it looks pretty good. And again, this is VHS footage, so you're not recording some real high-end, high-def kind of stuff there. So you have the option just to grab the file and start working with it right away. You can also throw it over to iTunes, and that's a pretty handy thing to just sync it up with your iPhone or iPad or something like that. You can edit it in iMovie, so if you click this, it'll pop open iMovie and drop it in for editing. By the way, I should add that you can just drag that file that it creates into other things as well if you want to do that. And then, of course, you can click the DVD button and it'll toss it over to iDVD, and you can burn a disc with it as well. So overall, I mean, it's very inexpensive. It's very easy to use. I've been taken actually a lot of sample footage with it, and I've been pretty impressed with how fluid and flawless it really has been. Again, my only gripe is that it's just a little too bright for me as far as the output video. I mean, you can always adjust that in post-production, but unfortunately they don't give you a lot of manual controls for brightness and contrast before you start the recording. The files that it creates are H.264, so they're standard MPEG-4 files. They should be compatible with just about anything that's out there. Very flexible and very cross-compatible between devices. So overall, I'd say, you know what, for the money, and it's a good deal. And if you're looking for a really quick and easy way to record video from your analog devices like a VCR or something like that, I think this Honestech Vidbox product will do the job for you. This is Lon Seidman. Thanks for watching.